There are key moments in this life you can hardly ever forget. I mean, no matter how long it is, or no matter how stupid it sounds, no matter how irrelevant it seems, you can't just forget. Sometimes they're the happiest days of your life, sometimes they're the worst. And sometimes it could be the days life humbled you. I'm talking about days when life brought you from year to year, like to the lowest point.
Cut.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for returning. My name is Omowonuola anyway. I'm about faith and lifestyle. That's new. I'm not going to cut that, baby. I'm going to add it to this video. Okay, so today, like I said earlier, the moment in this life you can hardly ever forget. Today, I'm going to be telling you about that one time life humbled me. I mean, one moment I was very happy. I was feeling top of the world. I was feeling like a pro, like a big girl. Before I knew what was going on, I was down. I was low. I was the tiniest thing on planet Earth at that moment. This thing is something that happened about 2 years ago, and for some reason that I don't know, I've not been able to get it off my head. And I was just thinking of what to film this week. By the way, this is Saturday, so if you get this video on Sunday, that's tomorrow. That means I filmed and edited this video in less than 24 hours. Let's see how that goes, guys. Okay, so it was around March 2020. I was in SS3. I had written jam. It was around late March. I had written jam. I was at home. No, I wasn't supposed to be at home, but it was that time when the COVID-ish, the go home, stay at home lockdown, yada yada was just starting, and they had to send us back home. Do I wrote my jam back? You don't need all these details I'm giving you, right? But I was at home and I had already written jam, preparing for what I was attending these tutorials that I used to come back around 4 p.m. So I went to lesson or tutorials that morning. By the time I got back home, my mom had prepared sumptuous meal. She had prepared a meal of eba and egusi, that's melon soup with chicken. So we can call it chicken melon soup or chicken melon stew. There was chicken in it. Truth be told, I didn't want to eat that food, but the only reason I ate the food, which I'm not even sure I finished, I can't remember if I finished food or not. But the only reason I ate the food was because of the chicken. Now, if you know me well, I don't get excited with food. Food does not excite me. I've said it before. I said it in my last video. I'm not a foodie. I'm sorry. But when it comes to meat or like chicken, beef, egg, that one is somehow. But like fish, not even. Let me just say meat. Basically, meat. I'm talking about beef, chicken, pork, anything meat, anything flesh. I eat fish too, but like I don't really get, you get what I'm saying, right? So I ate the food basically because of the chicken, or majorly because of the chicken that day. And I'm not sure I finished the food. So I ate my chicken. I asked my mom for some. The mom, no, please give me some out of your own. She gave me. I asked my brother that is also like me, that also loves his chicken and doesn't play with his protein, his meat protein. I asked him. Unfortunately, it was my lucky day if any gave me out of his chicken. And that was what happened that afternoon. And it went on like that. It was just a normal day. I think I went back home to do my assignments, and I went back to my room to do my assignments. And yeah, later in the evening, around 7:30-ish, I was in my room pressing my phone. And if the devil wants to use you in this life, you will never know what you just go. You just move. So I don't know. I left my room all of a sudden, and I was just walking. Then my legs, it's not my fault, this thing I'm talking about. It is not my fault. My legs carried me to the kitchen, and when I entered, I didn't know what I went there to do, because if it was water, the water is not in the kitchen. So I don't know what I went to the kitchen to do. So I just went there, and the first thing I saw, immediately I entered the kitchen, immediately I walked in through the kitchen door, was the bowl of the remaining chicken. I mean fried chicken. It was looking so inviting. It was delicious. I'm going to use that word again, inviting. And the thing was coming, I want to come now. I want to come chop. I want to come chop. So I went, doesn't like chicken. I mean, I love chicken. So I saw it, and as I was about to dip my hand into the bowl to take one, you know the way they say this thing, this still small voice, guys. I get warned. There are things that I want to do, and I hear God really. I know when God is speaking to me. I know when His Spirit trying to tell me something, but it wasn't that way. It was just like, well, no, you know that's stealing, right? It was silent. It was still, like they say. It was a typical still small voice that they tell us about in Sunday school. So I was like, well, no, you don't have to do this. This is stealing, right? I was like, I beg, come on. It's not stealing. It's taken at my father's house. I've been eating SIM card meat for 6 years. Yeah, I went to boarding school. I mean, I lived in the hostel for like 6 years throughout my secondary school. You should know that now. So I replied. I said, no, please, I beg. This one is not stealing. If I was in school, you can call that stealing. But yeah, no, I'm in my father's house. Let me enjoy this while it lasts. So I took the chicken. I saw a tangible part and I dipped it in my mouth. I danced. I was enjoying it. It was delicious. It was sweet. I even feel like eating chicken right now. Only know they learn. So I ate it. I was even doing the food dance as I was. It was so yum, guys. It was so yummy. So I ate it as I was eating it. So yeah, now don't chop and finish. Me I dey go. Me I walk up. Let me dip the kitchen. And I noticed that something was in my throat. It was standing like this, like vertically in my throat. It was up and it was stuck. I didn't know what to do. I was confused. I mean, guys, in case you're wondering what it was like an equally tangible part of the bone. It was standing like this in my throat. Like it was like normally now there's a way when bone gets stuck in your throat, there's a way it stays. But like this one was just really there, like it stood there. And I didn't know what to do. I was confused. A lot of things were going through my mind. I knew I had to do something, but one thing I knew for sure I wasn't going to do was to ask for help. Because why? It was stolen. I wasn't supposed to be there. I wasn't supposed to even have the chicken in my mouth. I didn't even ask for permission from my mother. So like I was really confused. I had thinking about a lot of things. I was like, should I use water? I ran to where the freezer was. I gulped in so much. I think I gulped in like about half bottle of water. I drank it so much, guys. This thing did not go. It was standing there like this, like, mommy, you I need to do. She be saying the coconut said that I will show you what it means to the coconut skin. And that next of doing was okay. Let me just use the eba. You know now we do it. I took eba. I took like about 4 muzzles. Is it muzzles they call it? Like 4 rolls. 4 balls of eba. I dipped this in the stew. I rolled this in the stew. I swallowed it. I made sure it was big and it was like a big chunk. I swallowed it, guys. This thing did not go. And then, like, if it had happened now, if it was something that happened now, like this stage I am now, like presently, I would have cried because, guys, I don't know if this is normal. I am getting soft. I digress. But yeah, I'm getting soft and that's not good, right? I'm losing my street credibility. So yeah, I would have cried if it was now, but then I could not just cry. Like I didn't want to ask for help. Not like my mother would have beaten me or something. They would have just probably laughed at me and like insulted me, yabbed me, and I didn't want all of that to happen. I was too proud to do that. A big girl like me, not be laughing at me. No, even at the point of death. At that point, I'm like, God, you see, I know I have wronged you. God, just have mercy and forgive me. Like it was not something I was even expecting to happen. Thinking about it now, I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. And before I knew what was going on, my mom started calling me. I think she wanted me to help her do something. She called me the first time. Omowonuola, I couldn't answer. She was outside. I was in the building. I was in the house. She called me, Omowonuola. I couldn't answer her, and I'm like, God, please, I'm helpless. Like, you're the only one I can run to right now. I can't call my brothers. My sister was around. I can't call my brothers. Probably if my sister was around, I would have called her. But I don't know. I couldn't call my brothers. I couldn't call my parents. It was just me in the kitchen with a chicken bone in my neck, in my throat. I didn't know what to do. I started to tell God that, God, please, I'm sorry. God, forgive me. See, if you save me from this one, I'm going to tell this story to everybody. I'm going to use this thing as, I'm just going to spread it because it was that deep. I don't know, now it's sounding so like basic, like why is she making a big deal out of that little thing? But then guys, it was a big deal that night. And I don't know why it took me this long to talk about it here. So I I was praying, not like praying, I was just asking God, God, I beg, just save me. Mind you, my mom was already calling me. Like, well, no, I did not answer because I didn't know what to do. So I was asking God, I prayed for like about a minute, and I know how long a minute would seem at that moment. So it seemed like 2 hours, it was so long, I think it was just like a minute or so. So at the point I was like, okay, I'm just going to face my fears, I'm going to swallow my pride, I'm just gonna make my mommy come clean. Was I even going to be able to? I was just going to tell her that something was out. I was ready to do. Mommy, something is here, because I could not even talk. I was just bending in my mind. And as I was about to step out of the kitchen, I don't know, I just said, okay, let me just, you know what I do right now, like let me do the in case they say, let me just, yeah, swallow my spit. And I just saw that this thing went down, guys. Now thinking about it, it doesn't look so real, it looks fabricated, but this is something that happened to me and something that I can't forget. It went down and I was like, oh my goodness, God, are you trying to tell me something? Like, what is this? So I went to answer my mom. I went to meet my mom. I think I did what she wanted me to do for her, and I went back to my room and I remembered my promise to God. But before I could even feel the promise here, I had to take time to think that like this is like the most basic way you've ministered to me. I was able to pick out some lessons from my chicken bone experience, which I would like to share with you guys. Mind you, I've shared this on my WhatsApp status, and there was a time I watched a video. It was Kiki's video when she was talking about Moment Life on Board, and she was like, we should drop Moment Life on Board us in the comment section. I dropped it, but I think she said she was going to invite one of our viewers here that dropped comment to talk about it on her show. And I was like, oh, anyhow, no problem, I would love to do this. I dropped it in the comment section, but I don't know, I didn't get called, and I don't think she later filmed the video. That's just by the way, just to tell you guys that I've shared it in like 2 places before now, but I decided to bring it to the big YouTube this time. So the first thing I learned from that weird chicken experience is that contentment is very key. Like, I already had chicken, I had mine. I had from my mom. I took from my mom's own, and then I begged my brother again, and he gave me. Was that not enough? But we humans, we just want to overdo, really. And it all comes back to lack of contentment. So like I was able to pick it out and say that yes, I really wasn't contented. Okay, another thing I learned again is that whatever you do that you are not proud of, that you can't ask for help, that you can't call people to come and see, you shouldn't do it at all. Minus the fact that the bone even got stuck. What if my mom had walked in when I was eating it, like assuming everything went fine, the bone didn't get stuck in my throat? What if my mom had walked in? I know for sure my mother wouldn't have beaten it. It wouldn't have been a good experience. It was not worth it. Another thing that this chicken experience taught me is that God is ever merciful. Like, isn't God just merciful? Isn't God just forgiving? Isn't He just graceful? So many times we're unfaithful to Him and He still forgives us. I mean, I was warned. If I was God, I probably wouldn't have forgiven myself at that time. I would have left this girl, to face the consequence of her actions. But God is just ever faithful. He's just ever forgiving. So now to the key reason why I think this is a moment or like an experience of life humbling me. I went from that point of, or like that state of being the old hard girl. I'm just taking I'm not stealing, okay, I'm my father's house, to God, I beg, like from 100 to 0. It just made me realize that no condition is permanent, really. and like for no reason should you be proud, because you can't even predict what will happen next. You can't predict what will happen the next second. Take every moment you have while you can still breathe. Use every moment to serve God. Use every moment to please God, because you really don't know what's going to happen next. You can't place it. You can't say it. If I had known that I would have been at that sober or weak moment, I probably wouldn't have done the ad girl I did earlier. Oh my God. It had me thinking, Amy chosen generation, Amy royal priesthood, holy nation, peculiar girl, peculiar person, honorary chicken bone. That's what they used to humble. That's what God used to. I'm like, and for a moment I stopped and thought that, mommy, you're just like this. Who are you? What are you? You're nothing, basically. Like, I'm nothing, guys. We are nothing. We're nothing. Just like, there's a lot I learned from it. There's a lot I think when I still think about it, I still bring out from this little scenario. But I think that's all I can remember for now. That brings me to the end of this video. Let me know if you watched this video to the end. Let me know if you learned something. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, I think that's all. So yeah, I'm almost forgetting to do this these days. So yeah, having said all of that, having done all of that, without further ado, I'm talking so much. I'm talking so much. How? I filmed and edited. Sir, Daddy, more record. Huh? More record.
Oh, sorry.